to the Harvey Supercars Challenge powered by Forza Motorsport 7. We are live here in pit lane for the very first of its kind at Mount Panorama, the Harvey Supercars Challenge. It is a huge night ahead and it's all about the All-Stars Challenge. I have my very own co-driver alongside me tonight and he's a little bit of a secret gamer himself. Chad Naylon, welcome to you.
Ree, good evening. Good evening everybody who's watching around the world and here tonight in Bathurst. This is very exciting. Like you said, we have the 8 best, fastest Xbox gamers here tonight with us, and they'll be co-driving with the actual supercars drivers themselves around Mount Panorama, live around the world. This is pretty cool.
It is very, very cool. And tonight is just the start of it. It's not just the first night of a huge week for our supercars drivers. It's a huge week for our gamers as well.
They've been flown in from all around Australia to be here as VIPs. They'll be racing here on this stage for 10 races. It culminates in a huge grand final, which will be streamed live around the world. So supercars.com, wherever you're watching right now, be there for Saturday night when these guys go for real in that final. Going to be big.
It is going to be massive on Saturday. And these gamers, they have been competing fiercely in the lead up just to get themselves here for this weekend.
There was a 10-day qualification process on Forza Motorsport 6 in the Rivals mode. Over 1,000 Australian gamers had a crack at qualifying, but only the best 8 got through.
And the best 8 are on stage here with us tonight. We are going to meet them very shortly, but we want to know a little bit more about these 8 guys behind us.
I'm Jacob Harvey, I come from the Gambie. I qualified first, beat Adrian by a couple of tenths, which he was delighted with.
My name is Adrian Yalby, I'm 22. I live in Preston, New South Wales, and I finished second. I'm really competitive, so I'm very happy to be here actually, to be honest, and yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's a great program that they're doing.
I'm Andrew Dyson, I qualified in 3rd place, and I'm from Wellington, Victoria. A lot of us qualified using hand controllers. Only one of us qualified using a wheel, so that makes it a steep learning curve for the rest of us, and I think that makes it a bit harder.
My name's Jonathan Burrows. I'm from Ranelagh, way down south in Tasmania. I did qualify on a steering wheel compared to the other guys on the controller, but again, these guys are really young and they adapt quick. I'm sure they'll kill it. They'll do well.
I'm Matt Gator, I'm 22 years old and I'm from Denmark, WA. Earlier on in the year, Forza RC held a similar competition to this, and yeah, I was one of the finalists for Le Mans 24 Hour, which was incredible.
So we've got our top 8 contestants here this weekend. They played through the Rivals mechanic of Forza Motorsport 6 online, and because of that, they're the top 8 fastest players in the country, and now they're here live at Bathurst to play on Forza Motorsport 7 on Xbox One. We had a chat with them all when they got here last night. They all get flown in, you know, travelling around the country for esports. This is new to a lot of them, and new to a lot of people who are watching this event. So super exciting, and we're all stoked to be here.
Matt Gator, you're new to Australia, never been to Bathurst before, and you find yourself here standing alongside Chaz Mostert, a former Bathurst winner, and you're about to play Xbox with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing experience. I mean, I never thought sitting at home playing computer games, you get to travel the world playing games, yeah.
Now, Chaz, have you forgotten something?
No, I'm good.
No shoes is faster or something like that?
I don't know, I just was getting a bit hot feet in there under the pedals, so yeah, just had to cool them off.
Okay, now we need to draw a number out of the hat because that's where you guys will be starting. So Matt, we're starting the race this evening. Where will you be starting from? Drum roll please, someone from the crowd.
Second.
Help us out. P2, how do you feel about that?
Our front row around here is always good.
Okay. Chad, who have you got over there?
Well, from one Matt to another, 3 out of the 8 blokes qualified tonight are named Matt, so it's going to be pretty confusing. This one's Matty Bink from Newborough down in Victoria, Jason Bright country. Mate, you're very fired up for this. 21 years old, and here you are live at Bathurst. How are you feeling?
Oh, yeah, not too bad. Go out there, have a bit of a run, but I only came in 7th on the qualifying, so see how it goes.
Now, you're the world's biggest Erebus fan. Were you a little bit disappointed that you didn't get Dave Reynolds?
Not disappointed, no, but...
He saw his practice laps and just...
It's going to work out fine anyway, because Nick, this guy's got a secret weapon. He's been here for the last 10 years watching as a race fan. He saw you win this for real, so I think that's a pretty good advantage.
Yeah, and I've watched and he's just creeping up. He's foxing. He's told me he can only do it at 18, and then he's just gone out. He's gone quicker straight away, but pretty cool to come alongside these guys who, you know, very good at what they do on the simulators, on the Xboxes, and
Yeah, we'll see how we go. I think Shane's going to cause a bit of carnage on the start line if he starts it, so it'll be good.
The practice start wasn't good. Let's have a look at this one. Boys, reach in there. Matty Binks, the man who's going to pull out the grid spot. So P2 earlier for Chaz and Matty Gator. This one is P3. Nice work, Rihanna. It's building down here.
It is building. Now, I've got Matt Collins here, and he is teaming up with Alex Rulo. Now, 21-year-old Alex Rulo, the youngest guy on the grid. We've got a fairly young pairing. How are you feeling, Matt?
Yeah, it's pretty cool to be here with, he's got the ref of the youngest kid in the field. He's doing great this year, and it's just, it's pretty amazing.
Now, Alex, how many laps or hours have you spent on the Xbox and the simulator?
I did a little bit back at home, but the most I've done was just then, so it wasn't too bad, but Matt showed me up a bit.
Okay, now we've got to draw your grid position out of the hat. Who's got the honours? P7, boys. See how you go from there. Chad, who have we got?
I've got the Kiwi and the Taswegian down here at this end. John, you are the oldest guy in the field at 32 years of age, but you're the only guy to qualify with the steering wheel. Is that the advantage?
I would have thought yes, but 33. These guys are young and they'll pick it up quick, and you'll see that tonight. They'll go great. But just on that, talk about competitive. These guys here have been in the seat for about 10 minutes, and it's on. It's on. That's all I can say.
Scotty, what's the tactic? Are you going to start today?
Look, can't tell you. It's one of those deals. We'll have to work it out, but I'm very nervous. Got sweaty palms, so we'll see how we go.
I like it. The nerves are kicking in, boys. Here you go. Grid spot. Jono reaches in from just down near Tasmania and Hobart. It's 6th position, Rihanna.
Okay, now I've got Jacob Harvey. You were the fastest qualifier getting here this weekend and just happened to have your favourite driver standing next to you as your co-driver. I feel this is a good omen for you.
Yeah, he should go pretty well. He went well in the practice.
There's not a lot of confidence there, Dave. How are you feeling?
Bit annoyed, actually.
Oh, why, Dave?
Well, I kind of use computers for a different reason at home, so...
I'm not going to ask any more questions. Let's draw the grid position out of the hat. Jacob, I feel sorry for you. Oh, and they could P1!
We're going to go backwards from there.
P1, congratulations. We have our pole sitters.
Oh, no. All right, let's keep moving right along. We've got Jared Lamprey down here right now. He's sharing with SVG, who's got plenty of experience on the sims. Does that make you feel pretty confident about this?
Yeah, I got about a week on them. So, yeah, no, it should be all right. Bit of fun, I suppose.
All right, so I think you two have something in common. You're both the shy type. I reckon this is going to work beautifully for you, Shane. How are you going to go today?
I hope so. I did 10 laps before it went okay, so see where we grid up and have a crack.
All right, time for the dash for cash style here. Here we go. We're going to reach out and position number 4. They'll be starting outside row number 2. Watch out for these guys.
Now, Andrew Dyson, apparently you've done easily over 200 laps to qualify this weekend. You do weekly tournaments. I say you're a hot favourite in this race.
I'd say you're probably wrong because I'm absolutely petrified.
That's okay. That's all right. Lee Holdsworth, have you got the confidence in him?
I do, yeah. From what he said, he's awesome. So, look, we're just going to get the co-drivers out of the way. I'll drive first just to get that done, and then he'll bring us home.
Sounds like a good strategy. Now, where are we going to be starting the race from? Pole position's been taken. Front row's off. So P5. Yeah, P5. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Nice work. Our number 2 qualifier from Sydney, New South Wales is Adrian Yalpi. And Adrian, how are you feeling about this? You've got the Harvey Norman Supergirl at the Harvey Norman Supercars Challenge. It's a co-driver. That's not bad.
Yeah, not so bad. She's a family favourite because when we watch the V8, so that's why I chose her. And let's see how we go tonight.
All right, Simone, you've got the number 2 qualifier as your co-driver. That's got to be a good luck omen.
Yeah, hopefully. And it's the Harvey Norman Challenge, so we should have extra boost or something in there. I don't know if that's possible on X Game, but yeah, it's pretty fun to be here. So he was pretty quick, so yeah, let's see if I can hold up myself in there.
It's a standard tune for those wondering, all the Xbox fans. Let's reach in. There's only one left in there anyway, but let's see what it is. Adrian, you guys are starting out of position number, you know it, position number 8. Unfortunately, Rihanna, they have drawn the very last grid spot.
Chad, we've got our grid is set, our pole sitter, Dave Reynolds and Jacob. I'm not so sure about that, but we're going to let these guys get themselves set up. They're going to talk strategies. They're going to see who's going to start this race on the other side of this break. We are going to be going racing here at Mount Panorama.
I've never heard anything like it. For the first time, the supercars hit the streets of Newcastle. Superstar Delta Goodrem kicks off the concerts on Friday.
World-class stages with incredible backdrops.
3 days of intense street racing will decide the championship.
Stirs the Aussie spirit in all of us.
On Saturday, Aussie legends Cold Chisel rock the foreshore. Supercars Coates Hire Newcastle 500, November 24 to 26. Concerts included in your same-day ticket. Get your heart racing.
Discover the Lenovo Y720 gaming laptop. Available now at Harvey Norman.
Welcome back to the Harvey Norman Supercars Challenge right here at Mount Panorama. Our drivers are in their chairs. They are ready to race. But Chad, we need to have a quick run through of the rules for this 20-lap race.
Thank you, Rihanna. Like you mentioned, we'll be going around the mountain 20 times tonight. The pit window opens for that driver change between laps 8 and 12. I wonder how they'll play that one out. If the computer gamers start, will they go all the way to lap number 12, or will we see those driver changes happening earlier than that? They do have to come down pit road to make that driver change happen. So definitely watch out for how that's going to work out in this all-star race today. Some more rules to think about. If you're into your gaming, you'll know what this is about. It's a stock tune like we were talking about earlier. All the assists are off, so none of the stuff like traction control or ABS. The steering is simulation. You have to drive on a manual shift. Now, the damage is simulation only, so there's nothing that will affect the actual performance of the car. And I love this down the bottom. Rubbing is racing, but there will be no drive-through penalties or anything of the sort here. So I get the feeling they're just going to let them have at it out there. This is going to be pretty exciting.
Chad, it is very exciting. Now, we've got a bit of a mixture happening with supercar drivers and gamers, so that's interesting. I like what we've got.
It's majority gamers though, isn't it?
It is majority gamers, but we've got Alex Rouleau down there at the end, and we've got Lee Holdsworth that were representing our supercars drivers. A lot of conversations going on right now. There seems to be a lot of mentoring for Lee Holdsworth. I'm not quite sure what that is suggesting. I feel that there's too much mentoring for Lee Holdsworth from other teams.
I'm going to bust in for a chat here. Scotty, there's a lot of work going on around Lee's car right now. What are you guys telling him?
Oh, he's pretty serious. He broke his mic, so he won't talk to anyone. So
is that what that was all about?
Yeah, we're just jagging him up.
He's pretty chatty, so I think he's ready to go. Lee, you're one of two main game drivers here. You're up against all the gamers, mate. This is going to be pretty hard work.
This is ridiculous. I didn't know I was set up for this. I'm going to look like a fool here, and then my mate's going to look like a hero bringing it home. So that's the plan.
And Alex Rouleau's the only other supercars driver. I think he's actually pretty good too.
Well, you can win it on the first corner, I've been told.
This can't go worse than Lee's actual Bathurst campaign last year. It lasted one lap for the poor bloke, so this can only go better for Lee. Looks like we're not too far away from getting a start down here, Ree.
And Alex, I just want to know, what was the reasoning behind you starting this race?
We didn't actually talk about it. I just hopped in, and it looks like we're running the alternate strategy, so hopefully it works out. Maddie will bring it home.
Yeah, so that's the red strategy on the strategy graph. So are you confident with this decision, Matt?
Yeah, you put the primary driver in, go from the back, past everyone, straight. When I get the car in, I'll be first. Easy.
Sounds good to me. There's lots of water here, so plenty of hydration for the drivers. What tips have you given Alex to start this race, Matt?
Oh, just don't crash. That's a good one I like to give.
Fairly straightforward. Is there any sort of seating position tips that you can give him that you've learnt over the years?
Well, he wanted to drive it like a lowrider, with the chair back, which sounds pretty cool. But yeah, I got full faith in him.
We should really mention this is the formation lap, and Lee Holdsworth has had an off. He's lasted one corner in the formation lap. Hasn't gone too well from him here. So the plan of this is to drive around to the grid, form them up. Now, Rihanna, you spend a lot of time on the grid for real at a supercars race. What's one thing that pretty much every driver does before the start of a race? Where do they usually disappear to?
Toilet.
Yeah.
All the time. They all go to the toilet every single time when we're waiting to do an interview on the grid or wanting to have a quick chat or catch up or get a last-minute strategy call. They all run to the toilet.
They always duck off. Scott McLaughlin was wondering what the rules were about that. He was actually wondering where the nearest loo went.
Nearest portally.
So
I'm sure there's
they're
one
always
soon.
just a little bit nervous. So Lee Holdsworth had a little bit of a moment here on the formation lap. Here it is again. There he goes, spearing off to the side on the replay. Bang! goodness me.
That was more of a spear off, Chad. That was contact.
That was a little bit more dramatic than I first thought. That's why we've got damage as cosmetic only. So not actually simulation for the damage. So coming across the top, we're going to line these guys and get them set up on the grid before too long. I'm pretty nervous about this. I don't know how this is going to work out. We've got Alex Rullo, Lee Holdsworth are the only actual supercars drivers. The rest have opted for a very different strategy at the moment.
Our gamers look very serious. As to be expected, they're going to take this very seriously. They've competed all around Australia to get here for this week. It's a huge week for them. Wonderful to be here. And it was fiercely competitive. As we mentioned earlier, over 1,000 competitors entered this competition to take part.
Someone just got sent off down Conrod on the formation lap, and it was definitely Lee Holdsworth who was involved. And there he goes.
Lee may not actually make the start of this race at this rate.
This has been the best formation lap I've ever seen. We'll grab a quick word with Simona. Thankfully, your co-driver here, Adrian, despite starting off the back of the grid, is taking things nice and easy at the moment.
Yeah, he's pretty much seeing everything what's happening in front. So hopefully that will happen as soon as the race starts as well. So we move forward, and Adrian has been pretty quick. So yeah, it should be good when I jump in the car.
Did you have a quick chance to chat about strategy? Do you know when you might be coming in for that pit stop?
I can't tell, but yeah, I figured if we're starting 8, you know, he'll be better around the other cars at the beginning. So let's see how it goes.
All right. I have absolutely no idea what to expect here. Let's check out a replay of exactly what happened here to Lee Holdsworth coming down Conrod. They're all on top of each other, and did he deliberately serve this bloke up? Yeah, probably. When you look at that, you'd have to say there's a fair chance. I don't think Scotty McLaughlin's overly happy about that. And then he was into the fence a bit more after that as well. Tried to get the power back down. That's the longest crash we've ever seen down Conrod. Made it all the way to the chase. That's pretty impressive. That started at Forest Elbow. All right, so they've completed the formation lap, and the reason why we did that is we had to seed the grid. So because it was a random grid draw, we had to send everyone else on the formation lap, and now they'll line up in their grid positions, ready for the race. A reminder, 20 laps. The pit window opens between lap 8 and lap 12. It looks like majority of the gamers starting at the moment, so I imagine we'll be getting a lot of these drivers driving to the end of that pit stop window. Expect to see the majority of these pit stops happening around lap 12. Unless you're co-driving here today with Lee Holdsworth and Alex Rullo, I think maybe we'll start to see the earlier pit stop option.
I think they will come in much earlier than anybody else.
That pit stop window can't come soon enough for Paul Lee Holdsworth at the moment after that formation lap. He's got it all out of his system here, Lee. So
I think that was important to do that formation lap. It just shake out the nerves. Like any other race, just shake out those nerves.
Yeah.
And like we spoke of earlier, we've lost a driver to the bathroom.
Yeah, Scott McLaughlin's just gone out for a quick nervous one. If you wanted any proof that they're taking this seriously tonight, ahead of the practice sessions tomorrow, ahead of qualifying and the great race itself, this is where it starts. Wednesday night, live at Bathurst. This is the Harvey Norman Supercars Challenge, powered by Forza 7. And from what we've seen so far, Forza Motorsport 7 looks absolutely spectacular. It's been released just yesterday around the country, so October 3, you can race off to Harvey Norman and pick up an edition for yourself on the Xbox. And when the new Xbox One X comes out in November, you'll be able to play this game in 4K. 60 frames per second, HDR as well. That is everything that a gamer wants right there in a game.
It's essentially like what these guys will be doing on Sunday.
Yeah, it's pretty much the real thing. Okay, we're not too far away. Cars are on the grid.
Here we go. Let's get some noise from the crowd. Cheer these guys on. They are racing around Mount Panorama.
Oh, contact
And we've had some contact on the start line.
Our number one qualifier and pole sitter missed the start. He's changing his view as he goes up towards Hell Corner. And there's a little bit more contact, but he hangs on to it. Frantic stuff with the pole sitter going backwards. How about our number 2 qualifier starting from position number 8? He's picked up 1 spot so far. It's Jared Lamprey who's whipped off to the lead. He'll be co-driving with Shade Van Gisbergen down towards turn number 2. And he's opened up a pretty healthy lead so far. It's pretty tight down here at turn 2. In 3rd position at the moment, one of the youngest guys in the field, 21 years of age, Matty Bink. He'll be sharing the car later today with a former Bathurst 1000 winner, Nick Percat. It looks like they're driving on cold tyres at the moment. How about Lee Holdsworth? P3 at the moment. Let's make... Have I said it too well? Oh, give him the curse! No!
The commentator's curse from Chad Naylon.
Lee, you were doing so well. He's dropped back to 8th.
Lee's calling for a steward.
Oh, no. Lee, I'm so sorry. He's dropped back to the back of the pack. You're riding on board with Lee Holdsworth right now. He's going to try and make this up. He had such a clean start. Tell you what, it's all happening on the opening lap at the race at the moment. Can he make this back up across Skyline? He's got a couple seconds to make up to P7. And that looks like a pretty clean line down through Skyline. Left foot braking for Lee Holdsworth. That's a bit of an interesting thing into itself. A few guys are electing to brake with their right foot. In particular, Adrian Yalpi, who's done a really good job coming off the back of the grid. Here he is, he's lining up a move for 4th as well, so there's a little bit going on. We still ride with Lee Holdsworth as he runs down Conrod for the first time. A little bit of ground to make up, but I think he's getting back in the zone here. So, the poor lethal lead didn't work out. Check out the replays right now. He was fighting away for P4. He got himself up to P3 on the outside. Oh, there was contact. It wasn't even Lee's fault. Gee, the audio on that one was pretty graphic as well. And that was the reaction. Scotty McLaughlin, Nick Percat, Shane Van Gisbergen. Well, they liked what they saw because poor Lee Holdsworth had a pretty good start. It all went upside down for him there, coming up towards Reed Park. He's got the game face on right now, trying to make his way back up. So battle for second position right now. And it's one of the quiet achievers all the way down the end. Originally from England, now living in Denmark in Western Australia. And paying a pretty good mind to how he's working up through the field right now. This is Matt Collings. And he is absolutely focused as he goes up towards turn 3. So it's looking good at the moment, pretty clean start. We're watching the action with Matty Gator as he tries to hunt down P2. There he is, up on screen right now, up through the cutting. We take you back to the battle for 4th, and this is pretty tight. Now this involves the fastest qualifier. He currently sits in P4. And that would be Jacob Harvey. Now actually qualified for this with a 2-minute 4.7. And this is looking pretty wild, and there's contact coming through McPhillamy. He tried to avoid him. There was no way he could do it. Reed, that was pretty wild.
Very wild, but it's very quiet down this end. Chaz Mostert sitting in 3rd place, just watching on your co-driver, sitting quite nicely at the moment.
Mate, I don't think I've ever seen anyone so gentle on the wheel. Jeezy looks so smooth. But yeah, we're just sticking to our strategy at the moment. Probably a long stint for the young fella in here, and yeah, we'll see how we pop out the other side. But I'll tell you what, all these gamer guys, you've got to give them credit. They're pretty talented on these things.
Now, have you had a discussion about the pit stop? When are you guys going to come in and do a driver change?
Look, I don't want to give too much away because we're right in this. We're a little bit off the lead at the moment, but you know, I don't want to give too much away. We'll see who blinks first.
We will wait and see, Chad. They are keeping their cards very close to their chest down this end of town.
Reed, there is an awesome battle taking place for 6th position right now. Lee Holdsworth has come firing back through the pack. He currently sits in P6, and this is the man that's chasing him down towards the fastest corner in Australian motorsport, gathering it back up. Jacob Harvey fighting with Lee Holdsworth. What a moment this must be for the #1 qualifier. Here he is, qualified on the Xbox at home, out of Ngambia in Victoria, a little quiet town with a population of 1,500 people, and here he is battling with Lee Holdsworth, not just virtually at Bathurst, but actually at Bathurst. That's going to be a pretty special moment for him right now, and if he can keep a guy like Lee Holdsworth at bay, that's pretty impressive.
Scott McLaughlin, Nick Percat, this is a very tough battle for 1st and 2nd at the front of the pack here.
Oh, mate, I'm nervous here. I'm just sitting here crossing my fingers and just hoping for the best. I'm worried because I didn't realise he was this fast. I would have started the race and then got the bad stuff out of the way, but we're all right.
Is this more nerve-wracking than sitting in the garage at the big race on Sunday?
I'm genuinely nervous. I'm not lying. I'm excited about this race.
Nick Percat, how are your nerves?
Look, they've settled because we've gone from 3rd to 8th, but I think Holdsworth turned us round at the dipper. Trying to take us out early, we'll come back for him, but no, we're just plugging along. Long race, long race on Sunday, but these two, it's on here, it's pretty good. They're going to run 9s, we can't do that.
Not talking?
I'm just over the middle.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Shane Van Gisbergen. it's very tight at the front of this pack.
Yeah, and they're going to leave it up to the co-drivers, so that's not going to be good. I think we're both about 4 seconds off these guys, so won't be good.
Are you going to give anything away in terms of strategy, pit window? There's a couple of laps here and there that you can hit.
I think we're both giving these guys as many as they can do, and then I'll just run the white line and block them the whole race.
How impressive are these guys, though? How impressive are these gamers?
So, Eastbourne, we're away.
How impressive are these guys? I know that you enjoy your time on the simulator. Are you impressed?
Oh, pretty good, because none of us can do a lap without spinning out, and they're all doing pretty well, so it's good.
The battle right now is between Shane Van Gisbergen's co-driver, who's doing a really good job, Jared Lamprey, and the man he's actually fighting is sitting right next to him, to his right-hand side. So this is first and second, battling away. So it's currently a battle between the two Tasmanians as well, which is pretty exciting. From different sides of the state, Jared from up in the north, a little place called Somerset. And for our number 6 qualifier, I believe, John O'Burrows, turns 33 on Friday. He's from Ranelagh, which is down to the southwest, just below Hobart. So a couple of Tasmanians fighting away. I think of famous Tasmanians that have won here. John Bow certainly comes to mind. Marcus Ambrose never could quite get the win here at Bathurst. So those are the guys leading the way at the moment. We currently have Xbox gamers or esports athletes positions 1 through 4. And at the moment, the quiet achiever is West Aussie Alex Rouleau. He's currently sitting in P5, turning a pretty clean race right now. Took delivery of an Xbox on Monday, as a matter of fact, from Harvey Norman to get a few practice laps in. Lee Holdsworth currently sits in 6th, so that's pretty good. To see at the moment that our actual Supercars drivers are sitting 5th and 6th, that's pretty impressive considering they're up against some drivers that have been turning laps for 10 solid days. Some of these drivers have done well over 200 laps to qualify inside the top 10 for this one. So at the moment, looking pretty good for guys like Alex Rouleau and also Lee Holdsworth. Remember, they've got their gaming co-driver to bring it home in the last stint. So I think maybe the guys to watch out for could be car 7. They're sitting in a really nice position right now. Alex Rouleau and Matt Collings, they'll be looking to bring this one home from a pretty good spot. The West Aussie sharing with the South Aussie. That was a big slide for Adrian Yalpi through turn 4. We're looking at him right now as he flicks through the gears down Conrod, but that was a wild one. The back end stood out midway through Forest Elbow. He did manage to gather it back up, and he's looking like he's going to drop about 2 seconds because of that little moment.
Andrew, Lee Holdsworth had a bit of a wobbly start. The formation lap wasn't great, but he seems to have settled into a nice rhythm at the moment.
Yeah, he's doing quite well. He's out of a couple of places after getting taken out by my mate Matt Bink down the end there. He's come up with Scotty, I think he is, or Burkhead actually is. That was no good. He's got back into it now, and he's passed my other mate sitting right here. And yeah, no, it's going all right now. He's going all right. Going to plan.
Now, you guys in the gaming world, you regularly race each other, so you know a lot about each other's racing, know how each other, your strategies. Does that play into your hands, or does that work against you?
A little bit, but see, back at home we play on hand controllers, and so this is a whole new ball game playing on steering wheels. So that's kind of all gone out the window, and we're just learning how to race again.
How much more difficult is it on the steering wheel?
Yeah, it's a steep learning curve. It's pretty hard.
Do you think that the driver's got an advantage with the steering wheel?
Well, I don't really know, but Lee's picked it up pretty quick, and I know a few other guys have too, so that's pretty good.
Sitting in a pretty comfortable place at the moment. You've got.
Look, I'd like him to pick up the pace a bit, to be honest. He's not quite good. But look, not his fault. He was taken out.
You're doing pretty nicely.
Well, there's a pretty good battle starting to form here. I mean, whoa, the leaders have checked out. Second place had a little bit of a moment there. John O'Burrows coming up towards Skyline. Lee Holdsworth, though, is in a really good battle for 4th position. He currently sits in 6th, but he's chasing down Alex Rouleau. Alex has got his hands seriously busy up the road. Rouleau a little bit sideways on the approach through Sulman Park, and this is Holdsworth's chance. He's close enough through McPhillamy. Tough spot to make a move stick. We've got 2 Supercars drivers duking it out. Forza Motorsport 7 across the top, down through Skyline. This is both their views. So on the right-hand side is Rouleau, the left-hand side is Holdsworth, down through the dipper. I'll tell you what, this has been a steering drive from Holdsworth. Turned around early out of P3, went back to 8th, and has been picking his way up through the pack. Can he pass the young 17-year-old from Perth, Western Australia? There is Alex working away. That's his onboard vision on the right. You can just see in his mirror, it's the closing Commodore of Lee Holdsworth. He's in the tow down Conrod. Speeds 260 k's per hour. This is pressure now for the young West Aussie. 283 k's flat through the chase. He's close. Percat, McLaughlin, Van Gisbergen, they're all standing behind Holdsworth at the moment, cheering him on. I think more egging him on, to be honest. Big flash of flame at the left-hand side of Rouleau's car. How cool do the Harvey Norman liveries look? Specially designed for this week as well. Fantastic job from everyone at Xbox and Harvey Norman to get these cars looking as good as they are. This is building Rihanna. He's got a bit of a run here up Mountain Straight.
And Chad, we've got two different gear shifting manoeuvres here. We've got Lee Holdsworth, he's on the paddles. We've got Alex Rouleau, he's using the gear shift. So a couple of different techniques here.
Check out Rouleau. Rouleau's going defensive. He's parking it on the line. He leaves the door open. Here comes Holdsworth. Late on the brakes. How about that for a move? Do you like that one? Nice work. He spent a good couple of laps trying to figure that one out. He was stalking him around for a while there. Good stuff. So Holdsworth moves on through.
And just as we're about to continue on with this race, we need to take a very, very short break, but we got plenty more after this.
I've never heard anything like it.
For the first time, the supercars hit the streets of Newcastle. Superstar Delta Goodrem kicks off the concerts on Friday.
World-class stages with incredible backdrops.
3 days of intense street racing will decide the championship.
Stirs the Aussie spirit in all of us.
On Saturday, Aussie legends Cold Chisel rock the foreshore. Supercars Coates Hire Newcastle 500, November 24 to 26. Concerts included in your same-day ticket. Get your heart racing.
Discover the Lenovo Y720 gaming laptop. Available now at Harvey Norman.
Welcome back to the Harvey Norman Supercars Challenge, powered by Forza Motorsport 7, and there's been a bit going on. Alex Rouleau has been very, very busy trying to hang on to P6. Check out this replay. The LD Motorsport driver was hard at work, coming down through the dipper, and that is a wild tank slapper, followed by a little bit of a love tap. So just giving Lee Holdsworth a little bit of a hurry up. These two are still at it. What a wild battle, and the move up the inside, hitting one of the signs down there on the inside of Forest Elbow. So these two are still having at it. At the moment, Lee Holdsworth sits in 5th place. Alex Rouleau currently riding along nicely in P6.
And Chad?
Our race leader, though, looking pretty calm at the moment. Jared Lamprey sharing the car with Shane Van Gisbergen. And they're just chipping away right now. I'd expect these guys to drive heavily into that pit stop window. Expect these guys in towards the end of lap number 12. And he's looking pretty comfortable in the car right now. Here's Jared, just 22 years of age, from Somerset in Tasmania. Truck driver, day job. Big fan of Craig Lowndes as well as Shane Van Gisbergen, and that's the man today that he is co-driving with.
And that pit window is coming up very shortly. Remember that they can pit any time from lap 8. That window opens at lap 8, currently on lap 7 of 20. So probably expect a couple of pit stops starting to be spoken about between our guys. There's a couple of conversations happening at the moment. Dave Reynolds asking Andrew whether he's about to jump in for Lee Holdsworth. So a little bit of chat about pit stops starting to happen up and down here.
And no one really knows how these pit stops are going to go. We haven't had a chance really to practice this yet. Oh, we've got one around, and that is a really awkward spot to get the car turned back. It was on the approach to Reed Park. They did a good job to gather that one back up. It hasn't worked out nicely here though. So coming through the cutting, second gear corner, feed the power back on, grab third, that's a short shift just before you go through there, and the back end just got away. And it's little moments like that that can just really cost you time. Not a good one, unfortunately, for Matty Bink. And he's got to make up that time now, fighting away with Nick Percat. He has another big tank slapper. Okay, so we are starting lap number 8. What does that mean?
Is now open, so we may see some driver changes start to happen. I know there are a couple of guys who are getting ready to get out of the chair.
Well, you'd be expecting particularly our Supercars drivers that'd be wanting to hand it over to the gamer as soon as they can, knowing the extra speed. Oh, here we go. It's absolutely on. And this is the battle for the lead. The two Tasmanians are going at it at the approach to Reed Park. I don't think these guys will be coming into the pits anytime soon. These guys will drive long into the pit stop window. He had a pretty handy 300-metre lead building there for a while, did Lamprey, but slowly he's been reeled in. We've got an all-Tasmanian fight now. Jono Burrows, the only man to qualify using the steering wheel and pedals, is really in. Close now down through Skyline and the Dipper. Where will he make the move? Will he be happy to follow for a few laps? Will he want to get this move done and build up a lead? Oh, no, big slide. Catch it. Good save. Wow. That was seriously sideways. It's cost him a few car lengths, probably about 100 metres. But that's okay. Now, surely there's going to be some pit stops happening at the end of this lap. Our Supercars drivers are up on top of the mountain still. So we've got Lee Holdsworth going through McPhillamy and now down through Skyline. And about 250 metres behind him is Alex Rouleau. Another 100 metres back at the moment. So our number one qualifier is looking pretty good.
Nick Burkett has just elected to pit his car. He wants to get in the chair of that Xbox. He wants his driver out and he wants to get in and have a go at this Forza 7.
So maybe we will see some early. Are they just foxing though? You know when you see the Supercars teams roll the tyres out of the lane?
They may have just rolled the tyres out and pulled them back into pit lane.
I think this is all gamesmanship from Nick Burkett. On screen, that is first and second in this race right now. The man on the right, Jared Lamprey's leading. The man on the left, Jono Burrows, currently P2. They look pretty comfortable. I think that was a little bit of tactics being spoken between himself and Scott McLaughlin.
How's the pressure on these guys right now? They're leading this race. They've got Shane Van Gisbergen, Scott McLaughlin and Nick Burkett standing behind, cheering them on. Seriously, how is the pressure on these guys? We've got a pit stop happening right now. Lee Holdsworth and Alex Rouleau out of the cars. Give these boys a round of applause. Awesome job. Lee, are you exhausted? You look exhausted. You've just done a stint at Bathurst.
Seriously, that is so much harder than the real thing.
Write that down as a quote. Write that down. You had the focus, you had the eyes on.
That's well, we're in it to win it. You know, anytime you get behind the wheel, you're there to win. So, but this bloke's really going to do the hard work now. He's going to bring it home. He's got the greens on.
Now you'll in.
Oh, Rio cut in there. There's a little bit going on. We've just had a change for the lead. There was a big moment coming through Skyline, and now we have a change for the lead. So the two Tasmanians have swapped over, and that's been building. That's been building for a few laps now.
It has been building, and Nick Burkett is now in his simulator. So we've had 3 driver changes.
He wasn't kidding. He really did want to do that driver change. He's made it happen. So Burkett has plugged himself in to car number 1, and the fight for the lead is an absolute beauty. So waiting for Burkett to come back out of the pits. This is the fight for the lead. Burkett might just get lapped here on the way out. They were 8th before they decided to come in. He's just got onto Mountain Straight. The leaders are just onto the front straight. So a change of strategy for car number 1. Nick Burkett goes to work, sharing that car with Matty Bink. So it's a big first stint for Matty Bink. Didn't work out the way he wanted. He's got another 10 races though this weekend to get it right. It's a big adjustment for the 21-year-old to learn how to use the steering wheel and pedals.
You're doing well, Joe.
Alrighty, let's check out this wild battle for the lead. Here it is, going through Skyline. You're riding on board with the leader. He had been perfect until that point. What a save to catch it though. But it was enough to cost him the lead of the race. Good amount of racing room given on the exit of Forest Elbow. That was an amazing save from Jared Lamprey, but it did cost him the lead of the race. That sits now with Jono Burrows, who's looking pretty comfortable at the moment, currently sitting in P1. And how about this? The Virgin Australia Supercars Championship. So often we see McLaughlin versus Van Gisbergen, and incredibly, it looks like that's what it's going to be for the lead of this race after the pit stop window has been closed. At the moment, their co-drivers are 1st and 2nd. Doesn't matter if it's real life or on Xbox, it seems like it's going to be a Shell V-Power versus Red Bull Holden Racing Team fight.
And the second of our driver changes was that of Alex Rouleau. Alex Rouleau, you put in a mighty stint. Are you exhausted?
Yeah, I was breaking up a sweat actually, but no, it was good at the start, and then I think I ran out of tyres towards the end. So put Matty in, and he's going better than me already.
Was it tougher than you expected?
Yeah, it was actually. The car was a bit of a handful, so yeah, it was a bit of a challenge.
Dave said the boys tinted up during your pit stop, so Matty should have a good run to the finish.
Yeah, changed the setup, dropped the rear ride height, so she should be sweet.
So at the moment, first and second, like we mentioned earlier, still looking pretty good. That's the gap through the chase. And these guys have a couple laps left until they have to pit. We're approaching the pit entrance now, so if you've never seen Mount Panorama, the pit entrance is just on the left, and that's a pretty clear indication that our leader, John Burrows, not going to pit just yet. He's going to go for at least one more lap. He does have 2 more laps left in the window, and he is actually approaching Nick Percat, who is in danger of going a lap down. Percat's just gone through Hell Corner. The leader has a little bit of work to do. The pit stop window will close at the end of lap 12. So our leaders do have 2 more laps left until that window closes.
Boys, just asking for clarification of the rules. Pit window closes at the end of lap 12. We do not want to get this messed up for our leaders.
The guy who's just going about his business, currently sitting down there in P3, trying to reel these guys in. He's got about a 500-metre gap to make up, and that is Matt Gator. So these are the guys that are about 3 minutes from going to work here. And how about the pressure? They've just watched their co-drivers flawless for 12 laps, putting in a mammoth stint, and now it's their job to get in there and bring it home.
Simona Di Silvestro, you're about a lap away from getting into the chair. You've got the shoes off. I feel that this is a bit of a strategy from yourself and Chaz.
Well, actually, I saw Shane do it, so I thought he's kind of the expert in that stuff, so why not try it as well? So we'll see.
You guys are currently sitting in 4th position. Just a nice spot at the moment.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It doesn't seem like we have a lot of pressure around, so yeah, we'll see.
And there's just been an incident between our leaders and some lap traffic, I believe.
Yeah, there was no blue flags for Nick Percat, so the leader took it upon himself to move him out of the way. So Percat got fenced pretty hard. These leaders are not messing around, Rihanna. They are flying, and if anyone gets in their way, they're not going to hold back. Percat's just been lapped by the man coming in 3rd as well, so he doesn't want to lose much time out of this. And as a matter of fact, he may have actually made a little bit of speed up coming up through there. So the gap is about 600 metres now between 2nd and 3rd. It's all going to come down to the co-driver stint at the end of the race, particularly between the 2 leaders. The undercut could be on here with 1 lap to go, but you'd be brave taking it. Nope, neither driver coming in. They will take their last lap. Oh, that's close. It's close and he's off. Is that the moment? Can he gather it back up?
How many times have we seen that, Chad?
He's all right. Yeah, that is...
I misjudged our shadow.
It's the mountain.
Wrong shadow.
You come down the mountain and you think it's all good. He said he's misjudged the shadow where his braking point is. All right, so there was a little bit going on here. It started at the top of the mountain. Nick Percat was having a wild moment. So bang!
All right, Scotty, it's all you, mate. It's all you.
They just moved him out of the way. So that was a pretty wild one coming down the top, and then the guys arriving on the scene thought, goodness, and that was the change for the lead there. So that was enough for Jared Lamprey to go, thank you very much, I'll take the lead back. And that was enough to just ruin the mindset of the man in P2 down towards Murray's Corner. Too late. Never take your braking markers from shadows, they say. And he just learnt that lesson the hard way and has given up about 200 metres of racetrack. So this is lap 12. Rihanna, that means one thing. We're not too far away from this pit stop window closing. It's going to be a very busy pit lane here in about 30 seconds.
It will be very busy. Luckily, we don't have any of the dangers of our usual pit stops that we have down in pit lane, but it is going to be on between our leaders, 1st and 2nd, Scott McLaughlin and Shane Van Gisbergen, the usual suspects that we see in our Virgin Australia Supercars races. These guys have done a mighty stint for the gamers. They have represented themselves extremely well. Massive amount of pressure to have Supercars drivers breathing down their neck, commentating every single move that they've made. We really need to give them a huge round of applause when they come to the end of this final lap in this first stint. They have done a mega job.
Not far away now, Rihanna. We're coming down through the chase. This has been a very cool drive from Jared Lamprey. He led us out at the beginning of the race. He worked his way back when the traffic came into play to get the lead back, and he's just 1 corner away from being complete in this stint. past the Ridges Hotel, under the Armour All Bridge, pit entrance on the left. He has to pit this lap, and in he comes. Shane Van Gisbergen is about to go to work. Need to make sure you hit this very awkward pit entrance correctly.
Shoes are coming off. Shane just kicked off his shoes. Scott's got his shoes off as well. Well done to our leaders. Great job. Shane's in the chair. Headset's on.
Quick driver change. You've got to get that headset on real quick. You need to get comfy. If there's any need to move the chairs back and forward, now's the time to do it. And the best part is they're mic'd up as well, so we can hear them across the last 8 laps of this race.
All right.
Here we go. Oh, jeez. Shane Van Gisbergen nearly loops it around on the pit exit. That was a close one. P3 also in the lane. So we've got first and second back on the road.
And
P3
Simona's in.
also back on the road. Simona Di Silvestro in. Chaz Mostert's behind the wheel now. Chaz Mostert is the quiet achiever out there at the moment.
Oh, I got that much.
Sitting in P3.
Oi.
That's Scott McLaughlin, you can hear, just finding the limits down there at turn 2. All right, that's the lead you can see up the road ahead of him. Pit stop currently taking place. And back out onto the road, currently sitting in P4. Simona Di Silvestro goes to work. Adrian Yalpi, what a great stint from 8th to 4th, putting Simona in the race, but they've got a long way to make up. They're 1.6 kilometres behind the race leader at the moment, who's working their way up towards Big Philemy Park. So it's a race right now between Shane Van Gisbergen and Scott McLaughlin. The man in third is Chaz Mostert. How many times have we said that this year at the different racetracks that we've been to? Watching Chaz Mostert at the moment. He's P3, locking up the brakes across Skyline, trying to chase down the 2 leaders. Simona Di Silvestro, she sits P4 at the moment. Great opening stint from Adrian Yalpi to get her into position. 7.5 laps to go, and this is absolutely on.
Jared, congratulations. You came in first position.
Oh,
well
dude.
done. How was the pressure with Shane standing behind you, watching every single move you made?
Oh yeah, there was a bit on, I suppose. It's pretty hot in here. Tasmanians sweat a lot.
What was it like to have the drivers yelling behind you?
Oh, it was good fun.
How'd I turn the...
I suppose that's what we're here for.
Oh, no.
Simona,
How'd I turn the chat off?
There was a bit of a moment there, Simona. We heard her just scream out, "Oh no!" So she's unfortunately had a spin, but gathered it back up quickly.
Turn the volume down just a bit.
And Scotty McLaughlin also had a little bit of a moment coming through the chase. So Van Gisbergen opening up a pretty handy lead, 430 metres now.
Right.
With that little moment for McLaughlin.
No one else was. No.
Here's Simona Di Silvestro's moment on the Harvey Norman replay. Oh, heavy impact with the wall coming down Skyline. These cars get really light and the steering wheel feel is difficult across that part of the racetrack. Remember, our Supercars drivers haven't had that much time on Forza Motorsport 7, and she's in the fence again. So a little bit of a moment for Simona Di Silvestro as she tries to adjust to the wheel. No such problems for Shane Van Gisbergen, getting up high to the fence, coming through the cutting. He's looking pretty good at the moment. That lead, currently 300 metres, so McLaughlin's taken about 100 metres out of him on this lap, so pretty close between the two fast Kiwis. The Kiwis have been winning just about every actual Supercars race this year, so it'd be fitting if they picked up the first ever eSports race as well.
John, you had an awesome battle between yourself and Jared, first and second place, pretty much the whole race. Were you happy with your stint?
Yeah, no, there was a couple of good comebacks there. I made a few mistakes. Mr. Consistent over here got it done. He doesn't say much, but he loves getting near races and he loves Van Gisbergen, so I'll give you a shout out, mate. We're a couple of Tassie boys, so we're a couple of Islanders like the Kiwi, so we hand it over to the pros and just watch how fiercely they go at it. If this is anything to go by, Sunday's going to be great.
Now, you had Shane, you had Scott, you had Nick, they were all cheering, they were all making comment. Was that pressure for you?
Look, it was pretty overwhelming, to tell you the truth. As I said, Tassie boy, it's been an incredible experience, and this what we've put on here tonight has been awesome, and I can't thank everybody enough for it. But yeah, the pressure from those guys, incredible. I can't describe how good it was.
The pressure continues to be on. We've got our dying laps of this race. We need one more break before we see who crosses the line first.
I've never heard anything like it.
For the first time, the supercars hit the streets of Newcastle. Superstar Delta Goodrem kicks off the concerts on Friday.
World-class stages with incredible backdrops.
3 days of intense street racing will decide the championship.
Stirs the Aussie spirit in all of us.
On Saturday, Aussie legends Cold Chisel rock the foreshore. Supercars Coates Hire Newcastle 500, November 24 to 26. Concerts included in your same-day ticket. Get your heart racing.
Discover the Lenovo Y720 gaming laptop. Available now at Harvey Norman.
Welcome back to the Harvey Norman Supercars Challenge. We're live here in pit lane at Mount Panorama. We're in the dying laps of our very first ESPORTS Challenge. And here we are with our final stint of our first race here at Mount Panorama. Chad, this race has been epic. We have an awesome battle up the front between Shane Van Gisbergen and Scott McLaughlin. Their gamers did a mega job in that first stint, and this is going to be on. But Scott McLaughlin, he has had an off, and it's going to come down to these last laps.
Yeah, Rihanna, he is trying so hard to bridge that gap right now to his countryman Shane Van Gisbergen. We ride on board. These are his pictures right now, and this is what happened to him. So trying so hard to chase down Shane. He was reeling him in, but then had this moment, just got the inside of the wall coming through McPhillamy, and that was enough to push him out onto the gravel. Did a really good job to gather that back up, but that was enough to lose those precious few hundred metres, and their co-drivers watching on behind. So cool to hear from Jono earlier saying just what a privilege it is to be here at Bathurst, racing for Xbox and Harvey Norman under lights in pit lane. So the battle's still on between the leaders. Shane Van Gisbergen going across to complete lap number 15. He'll start another one here, lap 16. And Scott McLaughlin trying to chase him down. Oh, that is a lap car in between them at the moment. Talk about the fancy footwork. Chaz Mostert got the very interesting looking socks down there at the moment, and he is doing a very nice job. Currently sitting P3, and he is slowly but surely, Rihanna, reeling in Scott McLaughlin. So I get the feeling this is going to be a Mostert versus McLaughlin fight before too long. Remember, Chaz knows what it's like to win here at the Mount for real, so he should be able to keep his cool.
Chaz and Matt have been the quiet achievers down the end there. We haven't spoken about them too much throughout the course of this race, but they've been chipping away. They have been staying out of trouble. And as Chaz said earlier, Matt was very, very careful on the steering wheel. Didn't have any moments, kept it nice and consistent. Matt, we want to have a quick chat to you. Chaz, he's got the shoes off, he's got the socks on, but you guys have had a nice, clean race so far.
Yeah, so far. Just trying to keep it that way, no crashes, and yeah, take it home.
Were you happy with your stint?
Yeah, no, I didn't crash, so yeah, can't be more happy with that.
What is the secret with everyone wearing socks and no shoes? What's the feel under the feet?
I couldn't comment on that. Yeah, I guess it's one of the techniques. But, yeah.
Now, we've just had an incident chat between Shane Van Gisbergen, our leaders.
Shane Van Gisbergen approaching traffic, came up behind Dave Reynolds. Reynolds wasn't making it easy for him. He got squeezed coming down through the dipper, and then Shane said, all right, I'll just push you high and dry, coming through Forest Elbows. So not taking any prisoners today, Shane Van Gisbergen, moving on through the traffic. Poor Dave Reynolds trying hard to make his way back up through the field. There is the Giz, and he's looking pretty cool right now.
I know.
Reynolds has had an almighty moment going up through the chase. And our leaders in the fence too. Shane Van Gisbergen is off. There's been a moment.
Back on the lead lap.
And it's through the chase. So this is the fight for the lead. The Giz drops back to second.
Cars going off left, right and centre, Chad. We have got traffic cones, we've got tyres, we've got cars all over this circuit. We are on lap last 16 of 20. You need to stay into this race to get yourself to the checkered flag. Who is going to take victory for our very first Supercars Challenge? It is anyone's game at the moment.
Well, this was a huge moment for the race leader coming through the chase. Under the brakes, just couldn't get the car stopped. Oh, then whack! David Reynolds out of nowhere sends the race leader off, and that was enough to see a change for the lead. So Scott McLaughlin, seeing all this happen, saw Shane Van Gisbergen was vulnerable, and on the Harvey Norman replay, picked him off comfortably on the approach down towards Murray. So McLaughlin, your leader, Van Gisbergen second, and the man who's closing, Chaz Mostert, he is reeling these two in. He's had the cleanest stint out of any of the supercar drivers who have taken over after that driver change. So Mostert looking very good late in this race at the moment. How good's the elevation change look going through Reed Park, Silman Park, McPhillamy. This game looks so realistic. Remember, on the Xbox One X, when it is released in November, this game will be absolutely premium 4K, 60 frames per second HDR. That is everything that you want when you're a gamer. Go pick up a 4K TV from Harvey Norman, hook it up to your Xbox One X, and go playing Forza Motorsport 7. You will not be disappointed when you see gaming in glorious 4K definition. So, at the moment, no change between McLaughlin and Van Gisbergen. Giz trying to reel him in, and more traffic on the horizon.
That Percat ahead of us. Join the battle.
Oh, it's Nick Percat. Now, Nick's already down a lap, so they're going to put a bit of pressure on him here. Heavily into his karting. Doesn't do much sim laps, but does spend a lot of time in his KZ2 go-kart, Nick Percat. I wonder if that's helping him out, a former Bathurst winner, just like Chaz Mostert. And they are the only two Bathurst winners we've got in the house with us tonight.
Van Gisbergen just encouraging Nick Percat to join the battle. He's a lap down, but just join them in the fun, join them in the battle. They've had a really tough race here tonight. Nick Percat and his co-driver Matt, they struggled from the beginning with an incident. They weren't able to pick their way back through the field. They're down the order a little. They wouldn't be happy with their race tonight, but Matt has got a huge amount of racing as this weekend unfolds for our gamers. They've got races every day, Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. It all culminates with our grand final on Saturday. That's a serious race for our gamers, and we will crown our grand final winner on Saturday evening with another live streaming from right here in pit lane at Mount Panorama.
You cannot wait for the big final coming up on Saturday night. That'll be just the gamers, like you mentioned, retaking centre stage after their 9-race mini championship to set the grid. So still no change at the top. We are in the dying stages of the first ever Supercars Challenge. Harvey Norman and Xbox on board for it, and this is the All-Stars Challenge with the main game drivers. Oh, here we go, wide across the top. This could be the time. A little mistake going through McPhillamy, and this will put the pressure on McLaughlin. You can see Shane Van Gisbergen in his mirrors, and from Giz's point of view, well, he has got his eyes focused on the FGX Falcon and Scott McLaughlin up the road. Next time by, there'll be 2 laps to go. It's always close at Bathurst. It's always going down to the very last lap, and I get the feeling that's what we've got.
Percat.
I know, I'm just a lap
You're gone.
I'm off the road. I'm off the road.
After having such a strong race, Chaz Mostert trying to reel these guys in as well.
Oh no. Oh no. What's going on here?
Here we go. So a reminder, Nick Percat is down a lap, so McLaughlin's putting the pressure on him. And then behind him, you've got Van Gisbergen. The Giz is close enough here. I think he's going to maybe have a crack at a move. Down into Murray's. McLaughlin covers him. Just parks the car in the middle. Shane gets very close to the rear boot lid, but keeps it clean. 2 to go next time by. Can McLaughlin keep his cool? He needs to get around Nick Percat in a hurry here. Percat the lap car. The scream you could hear was Simona Di Silvestro having a moment, but the battle for the lead is on. Close, up mountain straight, he pulls to the outside. Who's got the late brakes down here into turn 2? Give it to Shane. No, McLaughlin back up the inside. Great over under move. Shane Van Gisbergen played that beautifully, and he takes the lead back. Up towards the cutting, these two are putting on an absolute show. A little bit of contact. McLaughlin has a moment, he needs to gather it back up. There's still a good lap and a half to go. For the second last time we go through Reed Park, this is building.
And Chad, how do you just imagine how Jared's feeling? Huge Shane Van Gisbergen fan. Huge fan of esports. He's standing here behind Shane, watching him, hugely impressed by what he's doing right now. I mean, that's just a boyhood dream.
Next time he watches the real thing on Sunday, he'll know exactly what they're feeling like in the pits watching on. This is the change for the lead. What a scrap this was. You're riding on board with Van Gisbergen. He let McLaughlin go up the inside, pulls the over-under. That is a textbook crisscross manoeuvre and a sterling pass for the lead inside the last couple of laps. It's close here between our leaders. Next time by, there'll be just one lap to go. 120 metres separate first from second.
They crashed 2 gears. He's fast.
And that was the moment for McLaughlin,
where
where he just lost a few car lengths. So next time by with the last lap, has Mostert closed. He's dropped back a bit now, unfortunately, 900 metres away.
Van Gis is off.
Oh no, to the leader. A moment on the last corner coming up to the last lap. Through the chase, his co-driver can't believe it. All right, here we go. We're coming up to start the last lap, and this is where it got away from him. A huge slide. Tell you what, not a bad save, to be honest. He managed to gather it up and miss that tyre wall, but that sets up a fantastic last lap. This is the Harvey Norman Supercars Challenge, powered by Forza 7. McLaughlin up Mountain Straight. He leads Shane Van Gisbergen. A big crowd here tonight. Who are you going for tonight? This is it. Cheer them home.
And how are their co-drivers feeling? We've got Jared and John. They're standing right behind them. They have no chance to do anything further for this race. Shane Van Gisbergen and Scott McLaughlin are in control of their game. This is their game here at the Harvey Norman Supercars Challenge. We've got one lap remaining for our first ever event here in pit lane. At the moment, it's Scott McLaughlin leading this race. His co-driver, John, he handed it over in the second place. Shane Van Gisbergen currently in second. His co-driver, Jared, he's biting his fingernails. He's a huge fan of Shane. Chad Nalon, we've got just half a lap remaining in this race. It has been an amazing battle between these two guys. We see it all the time on track here, and right now in pit lane at Bathurst, it comes down to the two guys we see racing constantly.
He's gaining on him. He's trying to reel him in.
He's flicking tyres in front of him.
But can he get close enough to have a crack on the last run down to the last corner? Here we go, down Conrod for the final time. It's McLaughlin leading the way. Shane Van Gisbergen trying to reel him in.
You would have.
For the first time live at Bathurst, the Harvey Norman Supercars Challenge, it has delivered. And so often we see McLaughlin and Van Gisbergen fight it out on the track. We're seeing it now. Can he keep his cool? Through the chase for the final time. Uses that inside curb nicely. Van Gisbergen's not going to be close enough to have a crack at the last corner unless Scotty makes a mistake. Looking pretty clean. One corner to go. Hard under brakes. The crowd's starting to make some noise. All the way to the checkered flag. Give it to Scott McLaughlin.
Congratulations, Scott McLaughlin and John, the winners of our very first Harvey Norman Supercars Challenge by Forza Motorsport 7. Well done, guys.
Look at the smiles on their faces. They are absolutely loving it. They have had a ball there, and there was about a second or two separating them across the finish line. That was immense. Congratulations to both those guys, particularly John Burrows, because he is the winner here today as well. Rihanna.
Congratulations, John. How are you feeling? Your very first victory here at Bathurst.
I think it's Scotty's victory, mate. He's done all the hard work. Great job. That was awesome. Good work, mate.
Scotty, you look exhausted.
Oh, that was the hardest race of my life. No. Yeah, John did an awesome job, man. He did an awesome start, got away, and both these guys did an awesome pace. So it was fun. It was good.
Was it harder than you expected?
Yeah, it was quite tough. So Hopefully I don't crash as much as that out there in the next couple of days, but we should be okay.
Congratulations, guys. Well done.
Thank you.
Incredible race. Jared, how are you feeling after watching that? Shane Van Gisbergen put it all on the line.
Yeah, no, it was good to watch. Actually, that was pretty good at that. They were pretty clean racing too. So, just yeah, that was pretty good to watch, I suppose.
Shane, that was an awesome battle. Let's hope it's that exciting on Sunday.
Hopefully I don't keep spinning out again. No, good fun.
Forza Motorsport 7, you do a lot of sim work and a lot of time at the wheel, but what is it like when you're actually in the heat of the moment like that?
I don't know. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Get on track proper and have a crack. But that's a bit of fun.
Fantastic. These guys, second place runner, that was pretty good.
Chaz Moster, you and Matt were the quiet achievers down here. Didn't say too much, kept it nice and clean, but congratulations in third position.
I hope it's like that on Sunday, but Matt did an awesome job. The strategy was to run him long because he's obviously got better experience at this, man. He made it look so easy, and I got in there, I'll tell you what, those last 4 laps, I felt the pressure. I felt like his eyes were staring at me like, don't make a mistake, don't make a mistake, and I think it hit the elbow every lap, so I hope I don't do that on Sunday.
Congratulations, Matt. Your first podium here at Bathurst.
Oh, yeah, thank you, yeah.
Enjoy it.
It's a great experience. It's great to be up here with the guys and see them enjoying it, yeah.
Well done, guys.
Well, that was an awesome race, and here are the results right now. That was a very exciting 20 laps. It's the Shell Falcon, I guess you could call it, albeit in Harvey Norman colours, that comes home today. First place for Scott McLaughlin. And there was the start of the race. That was the pole sitter who got hit nasty from behind, Jacob Harvey. What a great start it was for Lee Holdsworth on the way back up through the field, but getting turned around through Reid Park, he would drop all the way back to 8th, but managed to drive up inside the top 5 before the pit stops. And I think the boys enjoyed the action that they could see in the background. A couple of wild moments across the top. Bang, heavy contact going down through Reid Park. Simone Di Silvestro cheering on her co-driver, Adrian Yalpi. He started 8th, drove all the way to 4th before the pit stops. The battle up through or towards turn 2 was great. Lee Holdsworth put in a pretty mammoth stint there. He actually was sweaty at the end of that.
They were all sweaty. They were all very exhausted. I think they were surprised just how difficult it was to concentrate and race in these simulators.
The 2 Tasmanians had some wild moments. That one there with Burrows going sideways. I think we had at least 5 or 6 changes for the lead. Traffic got in the way as well, and that caused a little bit of chaos too. It was just like the real thing, I guess. You've got to be patient. You've got to make your moves. And that was the pressure between the leaders at the front of the race. They were trying absolutely everything. McLaughlin couldn't believe it when he saw his co-driver go off the road. This was on top of the mountain, fighting through the traffic. Reynolds had a few wild moments. That one there with Shane Van Gisbergen. I think there was a little bit of revenge in that one.
Absolutely, there was revenge, no doubt about it.
And at the end of the day, these two put on an incredible show. This is the fight for the lead. You're riding on board with Van Gisbergen. McLaughlin up the inside. They swapped the lead a couple of times in that corner alone. It was just typical of how good this battle was. Van Gisbergen leading the way. Has a huge slide down through the chase. Gathered it back up. Managed to set sail and try and reel in Scotty McLaughlin. But at that point, it was pretty much over. McLaughlin managed to keep his cool out of the last corner, and he won that race for his Tasmanian co-driver as well. That was a huge moment. Congratulations to Jono. There's a little fist bump at the end there, and they are the winners of the Harvey Norman Supercars Challenge, powered by Forza Motorsport 7. The All-Stars Challenge lived up to the hype.
Chad, tonight has been amazing. We have really thoroughly enjoyed every moment of our very first eSports Challenge. Look forward to joining us on Saturday night, the 7th of October, for our final challenge for Harvey Norman Supercars Challenge. That is the grand final where we will crown the winner of our weekend here at Bathurst Mount Panorama. Chad, thank you so much for all your work this evening. Thanks for all our gamers and, of course, our All-Stars, and everyone for joining us here live at Mount Panorama. And, of course, everyone who has joined us from all over Australia and all over the world. Chad, have you enjoyed yourself?
I absolutely love that. I cannot wait for Saturday night.
It is going to be awesome. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.